Hey guys, welcome to 12 Tone. We're back from vacation and today we're going to talk about secondary dominants. This is one of the most exciting aspects of learning Western theory, and understanding it opens up whole new worlds of harmonic possibilities. In order to understand secondary dominants though, you first have to understand primary dominant function, so if you haven't seen that video or don't remember everything from it, please go watch it, it's going to help a lot. Fundamentally, a secondary dominant is a dominant seventh chord whose root is a fifth above something other than the tonic. But what's so special about that? It's just a non-diatonic chord, right? Well, this is where understanding dominant function comes in, because dominant function is directional. It points you to a target. For the primary dominant, that target is 1, but for a secondary dominant, that target is whatever it's a fifth above, and when it goes there, you get a sense of resolution, as if that chord is momentarily a new tonic. This momentary resolution is called tonicization, which isn't a word you really need to know. I just like saying it. Try it. Tonicization. Fun, right? Secondary dominants rely on the fact that there's only one dominant seventh chord in any given key. That means that even if you're playing in D, if you hear an E7, your brain will expect it to be followed by A major, which can then resolve like normal. So, is this like modulation? Well, not really. Like modal interchange, secondary dominants don't represent an actual key change, they're just a little vacation in a new harmonic landscape. To use our previous example, even though you heard E7 to A as a resolution, you should also hear A as the 5 chord in D. Of course, you can use secondary dominants to set up modulations, but that's a whole different game. Because they can't rely on a pre-established leading tone, the secondary dominant gets most of its power from the unstable tritone between its 3rd and 7th degrees. We're so used to the tritone including the leading tone, and its dissonant instability is the driving force of dominant function, so when we hear it, we're practically programmed to expect resolution. For that reason, you rarely see secondary dominants as triads. It's not impossible, but the 7th degree just adds so much that it's hard to justify excluding it. When analyzing secondary dominants, we don't just call them by their root in relation to the key. Instead, we always call them 5s, then tell you what they're the 5 of. In our original example, E7 would be the 5 of 5 because A is the 5 chord in D major. This helps us communicate the actual function of the chord instead of just where it happens to sit. One common use of secondary dominants is what's called interpolation. This is where you take a regular chord progression like the 4-chord song we talked about in our harmonic rhythms video, and just add some chords in between. Here, the secondary dominant is brief and resolves quickly, simply providing a little extra guidance through the harmony. Another more advanced trick is the extended dominant or dominant chain, where a series of secondary dominants resolve into each other in a circle of fifths. This creates a building tension as dissonance resolves into dissonance, before finally providing release with a resolution to a consonant tonic chord. Of course, like regular dominants, secondary dominants don't actually have to resolve at all. This brings us to our last trick for today, the non-functional secondary dominant. These are something you have to be careful with because secondary dominants are attention-grabbing and failing to resolve risks confusing the listener, but if you really want to be adventurous, there's nothing stopping you. And that's secondary dominants. Try the exercises, join our mailing list for scans of this and all our episodes, and keep on rockin'.